An important aspect of climate change research at the University of Arizona is communicating with individuals who have a working knowledge of the land on which they live and work. And oftentimes, those people are not scientists.
I'm an applied climatologist, so I was hired to go out and work with natural resource managers to integrate climate science into their decision-making process. Well, I've been in this job for about 5 years, and so a lot of these 5 years has been going out and listening, going out and learning how people do their jobs, and then learning where climate science fits into those things that they do. And they'll have a question on, boy, it's been really windy the last couple of years. So what's going on with that? I mean, is there some sort of climate pattern that is dictating this wind? Is it windier now than it has been in the past? What do the projections look like? Will it get windier? So I'm able to go back and try to generate a research project where we go back and look at the data and then pull it together and then go back and work with this person to say, okay, this is what the data say. How might you use this in your decision making? And then we can kind of go to the next step. So it's, trying to do that research that's publishable, but then taking it the next step and actually making it go from that peer-reviewed publication into someone actually picking up and using it and maybe putting it into a planning effort on their end.
The information about patterns in weather and climate is then posted on a website, azdroughtwatch.org, which allows users to monitor drought conditions more closely.
We look at drought, we pay attention to precipitation gauges, and we pay attention to other networks like stream flow gauges that we have. But there's all sorts of impacts that are occurring outside of this monitoring network, or sort of in between. So we can look at precip patterns and stream flow, but there are things happening to the ecosystem. There are things that are happening to local water resources. There are things that are happening within the agricultural sector that often go unnoticed. And when we do get information from people, we're finding some really interesting things. Some impacts on some unmonitored parts of Arizona and some anecdotal qualitative impacts that were quite a bit more extreme than the rain gauges were actually showing. So getting people to pay attention to that, I think, is really critical. And then getting events like last summer where the expectation was that we were going to run into a really good monsoon season. Well, it fizzled pretty quickly in July, and we ran into one of the driest August on record, and we ran into a situation called a flash drought, believe it or not. I mean, you can actually have a situation where in the desert it can get that dry and that droughty that immediately. We've got two opportunities for rainfall here. It comes in the winter, it comes in the summer, and so when you miss one of those seasons, things can get bad really, really quickly. So that was a pretty exceptional thing to witness and then also try to make sense of in an impact sort of way.